First, we measure the distance of the moon or any planet. So, P is the planet whose distance from the Earth is to be measured. A and B are the 2 points of observation. Both are separated by the distance B, which is the basis, and they are very close to each other, separated by few kilometers or maybe few hundred kilometers. So P is the planet or the moon, A and B are the 2 points of measurement, S dash is our reference star. We carefully select this star such that its position or its location, either seen from A or B, always remain the same. So whenever we look up in the sky, either we are standing at point A or point B, the star S dash is always seen right on the top of the point of observation. So in order to measure the distance of the planet from the Earth, that is S, what we do, first we focus our telescope right at the reference star S dash, and then we shift it towards the planet for which we want to measure the distance. So by shifting the telescope from S dash towards the planet, we measure this angle phi 1. Similarly, at the point B, we repeat the same procedure. We first focus the telescope at the point S dash, at the star S dash, and then we shift it towards the planet or the moon P, and then again we measure this angle phi 2. From P, if we drop a perpendicular on this basis line connecting point A and B, then we can clearly see that angle S dash AP and angle AP, let it be point O, angle APO, they are alternate angles. So if this angle is phi 1, this angle will also be phi 1. Similarly, angle S dash BP is phi 2, then angle OP and B will also be phi 2. So in this case, if we measure the total angle APB, which is equal to phi 1 plus phi 2, it will be the total parallax angle subtended by the planet or the moon at the points A and B separated by the basis B. So in this case, again using the definition of angle, length of arc over radius of arc, length of arc is nothing, the distance between the 2 points of observation, which is B. Radius of arc is nothing but the distance between the planet and the point of observation. So in this case, S is equal to B by theta, or we know that theta is equal to angle APB, which is phi 1 plus phi 2, called parallactic angle. So in this case, if we substitute this value over here, the value of S becomes equal to B over phi 1 plus phi 2. So in this way, we are able to measure the distance of a moon or any planet. In this case, B is very smaller than S, because the value of the B may be order of the few kilometers, which is very, very small as compared to the distance of the moon or any nearby planet. Now next is distance of a nearby star using the parallax method. Here we have measured the distance of moon or the planet. Now we are finding the distance of a nearby star using the parallax method. Method is the same but only with a slight change. N is the star for which we want to find out the distance. A and B are the 2 points of observation separated by the basis. F is our reference star, so that whenever it is observed either from A and B, it is always right on the top of the point A and B. One thing of difference is there, that in the earlier case when we were finding the distance of moon or planet, the time of measurement from point A and B was the same. That means when we measured the angle phi 1 and phi 2, they were measured at the same time interval. But here what we do for finding the distance of a nearby star, first we are present at, suppose at the point A, we focus our telescope at the reference star F, and from here we turn it towards the star for which we want to find out the distance, and we measure the angle theta 1. Then we wait for a time period of 6 months, so that during this time Earth has covered almost half of its distance in its orbit around the Sun, so that it is exactly present almost diametrically opposite end of its orbit if we consider the orbit to be circular in nature. Then after 6 months again we focus the telescope at the point F, then it is shifted towards the star N and we measure the angle theta 2. As angle theta 1 and theta 1 they are same, angle FAN and angle ANS they are same, alternate, angle FBN and angle SNB theta 2 theta 2 they are also same. So here the total parallax angle ANB is equal to theta 1 plus theta 2. So total parallax angle subtended by the star on the orbital diameter AB is equal to theta 1 plus theta 2. So again using the definition of angle, theta angle is length of arc over radius of arc, which is equal to AB over D, or it is equal to D equal to AB or theta, which is AB divided by theta 1 plus theta 2. So there is a slight difference between the distance of the moon and the distance of a nearby star, that here we have to wait for a period of 6 months in order to measure the distance of a nearby star, because stars are far away from us as compared to the moon or the planet. So the value of parallax angle becomes very small, and it might be possible it is not measurable with our instruments. So that's why we have to increase the value of the basis by increasing the distance between the 2 points of observation A and B. So this method is suitable only for the stars less than 100 light years away. Problem: why this is so? Because if the stars are present at a distance greater than 100 light years away, the parallax angle becomes too much small that it cannot be measured with our instruments. That's why this method is suitable only for stars which are present within a range of 100 light years.